Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in once again to my channel. Today I want to talk about a conversation I had with a good friend of mine earlier today. It was about the paradox of tolerance versus intolerance as far as speech and action goes. So for you to be a tolerant person, does that mean you have to tolerate people who are intolerant? Meaning, do you have to put up with listening to people with hate speech and with intolerant points of views that are radically intolerant against other folks? So here begins the paradox, right? Because if you are intolerant towards hate speech, you are, in a sense, intolerant yourself. So that's the paradox, more or less. So my friend asked me, do you think it's intolerant to not want to listen to hate speech? And I thought about it for a while, and I could see arguments for both directions, really. I mean, you can argue anything, you can argue any point, you can find evidence for anything out there that you want to support. And we see this proof positive all the time with our talking heads on the news. We see it all the time with people arguing on social media, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. People have points of view and people love to express them and love to argue with one another. It's just part of our nature, it seems. And if it's not part of our nature, it's definitely something that we've evolved into over the years as human beings and as animals on this planet. Because let's face it, we are animals when it comes down to it. We like to think that we're more special than the rest of the species on this planet. And I know that some people out there have perspectives that would suggest that we are more special, that we are part of a divine creation, and therefore we are separate from animals. We are beyond animals. We are special, we are divine, we're part of God's creation. Some people would argue that point. But I don't know, I think that we are all part of the same creation. What makes us any more sacred or special than anything else on this planet? Is it because we use tools? Is it because we've created art and poetry? Is it because we've created money and this medium of exchange? We've created technology that allows us to communicate at lightning speeds right across the planet and even across reaches in space. We have people in outer space. We have these cans, these tin cans that get launched in outer space now, or even more phallic looking devices that get shot up into space by the world's most wealthy elite. I won't name anyone, even if their name does rhyme with Meph Tezos. I'm not going to mention who they are. And since I'm talking about all this right now on camera, it leads me to another question too. Is anything unnatural? I don't think so. I think everything that happens on the planet, everything that happens around us, is an expression of something that is natural, something that happened on its own from nature. Just because human beings created it does not mean it's not natural. I would argue this with plastics. I would argue this with the atom bomb. I would argue this with anything that human beings have created. We like to separate ourselves, we being humanity, from nature. We like to think of ourselves as being beyond nature, or masters of nature, or chosen people, or created in God's image, or something like that. But I really think that we're all part of the same thing. We are all part of the same creation. So whether or not God exists, I think that if God does exist, God created everything, and everything is just as sacred or just as special as human beings are. And I know that might not be a very popular point of view for a lot of people out there who are watching, in which case I'm sorry, but it's just perspective. So instead of getting angry or upset, maybe consider it. It could be pretty interesting to consider it. And I have considered human beings being special or divine or chosen by God or created in God's image. I've of course thought of that because it's been a perspective that is very popular throughout my whole entire life. So I've considered it strongly, and I also like to consider the opposite side. I like to play devil's advocate sometimes. I like to look at things from the other side, the other point of view, and consider it, because I think that that's a really healthy way of learning and growing and finding new perspectives. All right, I think I've talked too much in this one. I might have got myself in a little bit of trouble with some of my audience out there, but hey, I'm just a human being and I'm a thinker. I'm not afraid to think, and I'm not afraid to express myself, and I'm not afraid to make bad art. So welcome to my channel, folks. And by the way, if you are new to my channel, please know that I post about way too many things, and I post every single day for the year of 2021. I post about so many different things that there's almost a lack of focus when it comes to this channel. However, one thing I do consistently is I post weekly circus and flow arts tutorials. That's right, folks. So I can teach you how to teach yourself how to juggle balls, or juggle clubs, or contact juggle like that thing David Bowie does in the Labyrinth. Ooh, yeah. Or even teach you how to spin things on your finger. That is called pediddling. You can do it with a tray, you can do it with a book, anything flat. For the most part, I like using couch cushions because they got this nice texture on them, and if you mess up, it doesn't hurt you very much at all. It doesn't hurt at all. Or you can even learn how to do the devil sticks. Now, the devil sticks and I, we go way back together. I started that when I was probably about 14 years old, and I'm 38 now, so it's been a long time. been a really long time. If you do the math, you'll figure out how long it's been. I'm not going to do the math. It's easy math, but I'm still not going to do it. Anyways, that's the video for today. Thanks again for watching this video all the way to the end. You could have been doing something else. You could have watched videos of cute cats pouncing and running amok. You could have watched your favorite TV show. You could have seen something else that you probably shouldn't have been watching on the internet, but instead you stuck it out here with me. Thanks again for watching this. I'll end this video the way I've been ending all my videos lately, with these words of wisdom, as cheesy as they may be for some of you out there. Please remember to never give up. Do your best. Stay true to you and who you are and what you stand for, and be amazing. Now, what I mean by be amazing is to be the best version of yourself. Thanks again for watching, folks. I appreciate it. See you in the next video. Good night.